History. Project Green Apple named after her favorite snack. Coordinated raids led
being right on time. Here's the Super Blue Moon Pajama Party! To the Super...
To give you guys what you gave me.
Nothing to be afraid of.
Convenient. Go online now and get the complete Bullseye Pro inflation system.
After vacuuming, because fresh means clean.
I spray every chance I get. Starts with...
Excusez-moi!
Man, it's so on. I felt guilty, and now I'm really...
Festive feel, order the new Tim's Holiday Meal.
उनके लिए वो सिर्फ नंबर्स हैं क्योंकि इतनी 26 करोड़ की आवाम में 1 लाख बंदा या 2
Trips. Reduce getting up at night to urinate and take back control. Get
Mon chat sphinx hypoallergénique. Sputnik Atfield Gibbons. Je l'ai nommé en honneur de...
You just slip them on. There's no buttons, no zippers, nothing to these. So
you look in just in the boundaries of Stratford. You know, I know we've got a great committee working on the drain trunk.
Saul was the one who's right there saying yes, he approved.
porn takes a serious level of mental impairment.
She has been a model citizen up.
What do you think about mahogany for the living room and then...
You boys...
Bad. You lost money, you're filled with shame, and you got groped by a stranger. I mean, that's Vegas. You nailed it.
Rebecca, do you want to play in my bedroom? Your bedroom? But where is your hat?
Fancy free, but I've got responsibilities, deadlines, just like...
Spoke to the family afterwards, after the arrests were made.
Teddy bear is a symbol of your promise to keep them safe, loved, and supported. Please, don't turn away.
Sincere!
Community actually can read Braille, and it was better for us to do this tactile audio piece. So on the inside of the palette, Scarlett can find
The key to success. Patience. Oh well, more for us then. Rebecca.
Everything is under his feet, under his control, under his authority. So he's talking to Gideon and says, "You're the answer. You've been praying for an
It gives you wings, but only if it's not frozen.
Oh.
You've drawn the shortest straw in the holiday gift exchange. Your girlfriend's dad. Oh dear. Maybe there's time to get a deal on something else. Wait. Hey, we might just make it to New Year's after all.
When we're rested, we're present. And being present is the greatest gift we can give. That's sleep well spent. Shop Boxing Day.
On a donc besoin d'un pont. Pas de problème. Vous pouvez compter sur ma famille pour construire ce pont. Oui, absolument. Ruben, mais toujours la garde.
Ruben et compagnie, tous les jours, à Télétoon.
Je suis l'infirmière Suzy. Et moi, je suis la doctoresse Vicky.
Les journées sont toujours bien remplies pour Peppa et ses amis.
Spanish version does not exist on this channel.
Comme vous avez tous bien travaillé aujourd'hui, vous avez mérité de vous amuser avec les bouées. Youpi! Bonjour. Attention! Youhou!
Peppa Pig, tous les jours, à Télétoon. Pour l'équipe Persona, c'est le titre de champion qui l'attend. De nouveaux adversaires redoutables font leur apparition. Peu importe. Explosion!
Never mind.
A wave splashes the bears.
Hey! Look at all those cool ships. Forget the ships. Look at that thing.
The bears stare at a light.
It's calling the ice bear's soul.
Bit of a glare.
Late this evening. Exactly. The white, that's what I want to highlight over St. John's. That's going to be your accumulation amounts, 5 centimeters or greater. That's your blizzard-like conditions. The snow continues towards the west. We get a change over into rainfall for the Avalon, and that clears out. But you know what's so significant? Gander digging out of 44 centimeters, and you're looking at another 20 to 40. Lower amounts across the Avalon, 20.
Mr. C's turn.
Towards the north, but as we gradually head towards the south, not much to be concerned about right now. Exactly. So when we take a look at the timing, we'll see more of that widespread snow across the northern portions of Alberta. Down towards the south, this is that first line pushing through. Winnipeg, you get into the heaviest swath heading into your Saturday afternoon, and some light flurries on the back end. Temperatures are definitely going to be plummeting behind this system.
Yeah, when we take a look over on the weekend, Alberta, you'll be dealing with the chill on Saturday, but watch, this cold air will then progress towards Saskatchewan and then Manitoba. So Saskatoon, as an example, feeling more like minus 30 with the wind chills. It's going to be quite chilly, so it's going to be something to be concerned about, even with frostbite rhythm.
You know what? They enjoy that. So as we take a look over into BC, light rain showers for the lower mainland, snowfall across the interior, on and off for areas like Cranbrook, Kelowna, into Nelson as well, and mainly be in those higher elevations. And I'm going to let you dig in a little bit further into the lower mainland.
Yeah, we've been watching the freezing levels gradually drop through the day today, so that's going to allow for the chance of seeing some light flurries, including Abbotsford, Hope. In fact, you saw that last night, even across Nanaimo as well. So we'll watch for that for the rest of the evening and afternoon. And then heading into the weekend, it's going to be quite a nice one with lots of sunshine, but will be quite chilly for you to have to bundle up to.
This program is brought to you by ServiceMaster Restore. When disaster strikes your home, count on the experts at ServiceMaster Restore for emergency restoration service.
We know your forecast is twice
night, even.
That's why we got you covered with experts and insight on what matters most. Join me every Saturday and Sunday mornings on the Weather Network.
For our blind and low vision viewers, the Weather Network offers regional audio description weather reports during our local forecast on the 10th.
The truck
with road presence. The truck with a sport performance hood. 20-inch all-black aluminum wheels. Rugged black grille. And it comes with Canada's best full-size truck limited powertrain warranty. The new 2026 Ram 1500 Black Express. Starting at $56,995.
What do I like? I like open fires, moonlit nights, chatty letters, rainy days. I like daydreaming. I love this colorful little island of ruby, emerald, and sapphire. Yet often my dark
As you can see here, there's few changes right here. Family Channel East and West are all gone.
Some days I almost give up.
Nickelodeon, ABC Spark, Disney XD, and Disney Junior are both gone too. Now all we have left is Dilitoon, which is around near the Rogers and the Weather Network channels, is still here, including Treehouse, Boomerang, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network East and West, YTV East and West, and it's pretty much it for kids channels that we get now.
I love being a champ. I am a member of the Worms Child Amputee Program. Through CHAMP, I get the artificial limbs I need to participate in everyday activities. I'm always growing, so I always need new devices.
Support and helpful information on living with an amputation is available to me anytime.
I get to meet other kids that are just like me. It's your donations that make the Worms CHAMP program possible. Thank you.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the forecasts for your business.
2025 unfolded. Extreme weather and natural disasters reshaped communities across the globe. The year began with devastation in Southern California. In January, fast-moving wildfires tore through Los Angeles and parts of Ventura County, fueled by extreme winds, drought, and low humidity. The Palisades and Eaton fires forced more than 100,000 evacuations, with later studies estimating 440 excess deaths, ranking them among the deadliest and most destructive wildfires in modern U.S. history. By late January, the focus shifted across the Atlantic. Storm Aowen battered Ireland, the UK, and Norway, cutting power to more than 1 million properties and grounding transport across the region. It became Northern Ireland's most severe storm since 1998 and the UK's strongest in over a decade. As winter faded, wildfire danger spread east. From late March into May, South Korea faced more than 20 major wildfires burning simultaneously. 32 people were killed, tens of thousands displaced, and entire communities evacuated in what is considered South Korea's worst wildfire disaster ever. Then, disaster struck without warning. On March 28th, a 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit central Myanmar near Zagin, collapsing buildings across the region. More than 5,400 people were killed, making it the deadliest earthquake worldwide since the 2023 Turkey-Syria disaster. High above the atmosphere, 2025 brought setbacks in space. SpaceX experienced multiple Starship test failures tied to engineering challenges rather than weather, but the sight of rocket debris raining through the atmosphere caused some to think that a meteor was crashing down. Likewise, with these mysterious-looking spirals, it wasn't aliens, but the atmosphere playing tricks with ejected rocket fuel from separate space missions. Midsummer brought tragedy to the southern United States. On July 4th, catastrophic flash flooding swept parts of Texas and New Mexico, killing at least 119 people. Among the hardest hit, Camp Mystic, where rising waters left little time to escape, sweeping away young campers in the night. Weeks later, the Earth unleashed extraordinary power. An 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, triggering tsunami alerts across the Pacific and sending this wave barreling inland. More than 2 million people evacuated, though remarkably, no deaths were reported. As autumn approached, the western Pacific turned deadly. Typhoon Kalmegi tore through the Philippines, Vietnam, and Thailand, killing hundreds and flooding communities, especially around Cebu. Then came one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes ever recorded. Hurricane Melissa struck Jamaica after rapidly intensifying into a Category 5 with winds nearing 300 kilometers per hour. Scientists later confirmed unusually warm oceans fueled the storm's destructive power, and it became the strongest storm to ever hit the island nation. As the year wound down, relentless rains overwhelmed Southeast Asia. Flooding from simultaneous cyclones and monsoons hit Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam, affecting nearly 11 million people, with entire communities displaced and critical infrastructure left underwater. Sri Lanka claimed the floods to be its worst natural disaster in their history, surpassing the impacts of the 2004 tsunami. And in December, nature delivered one final reminder of its power. Hawaii's Kilauea erupted spectacularly for the 38th time in 2025, sending lava fountains hundreds of meters into the air, even destroying a U.S. Geological Survey camera in the process.
This program is brought to you by ServiceMaster Restore. When disaster strikes your home, count on the experts at ServiceMaster Restore for emergency restoration service.
In Inuit communities, a kamarik is a large sled pulled by dog teams or snowmobiles. A smart kamarik has a sensor that uses electromagnetic fields to measure ice thickness.
What stupid barnacle told you that? Listen, instead of killing yourselves, I've got something real important for you to do for me. Now, are you men ready for your super
Super
Special.
special secret
Assignment. Two of you are to paint the inside of me house. But let me give you two a warning. This here paint.
San Antonio, should Wemby stay healthy, could run the league for the next 5 years. Are you suggesting they're built to win it all as soon as this year?
I just don't think they have the seasoning. I just think that it's as much as like anyone or a San Antonio fan wants to jump a step or two. It's just really rare when a team comes from out of nowhere and just wins the title, because in those close games where one possession, one thought, one tiny little hair is the difference, the younger teams that don't have as much experience don't tend to make those decisions. They tend to just because they don't know. It has to be instinct. It's not brain. It's not your mind thinking. Right now they're still learning. And the Thunder were in that boat. And then last year we saw that youngest team to win a title, I think, they had learned that from their seasoning. So Spurs are close. I wouldn't want to meet them in a playoff series, but yeah, I don't have them winning the title this year, but I do have them being a problem basically for the next, however long this thing can go.
The future could be now for the Spurs. We're both based here in Southern California. You have covered the Lakers closely for many years. What did you make of the continued lousy defense that we saw last night as they got hammered by Houston? And J.J. Redick is being exceptionally candid, calling out his team's lack of effort post-game. And Eric, your reaction to him saying last night after they lost to Houston, quote, "We don't care enough right now."
Well, I've said this before, and I'm convinced that at some point J.J. Redick will murder a human being at a basketball game. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a ref or an opponent or one of his players, but he is filled with an entertaining amount of rage. And he certainly let it out after the game. And, some of it as a coach, your job is to make what you have, which is imperfect, better. Because there's no perfect team, or, very rarely, there is no perfection. So your job is to somehow push the buttons, but he's pushing buttons on a combination of players that, look, when the Lakers made the trade last year, I said, this is great for the Lakers. They're getting Luka. It's, they're getting a franchise piece, but they're not built to win that year because the chasm defensively of the three players, LeBron, Austin, and Luka, and all incredible players, but their strengths aren't on the defensive side. And there are some things that LeBron can do defensively. See, he can still get those chase down blocks, but he's like an old diesel. I remember during one where you got to slam the gas to just get it up to speed. But once it's up to speed, that thing could go from 50 to 90 in just a tiny bit of pressure. But getting up to 30, excuse me.
You're getting emotional here.
Too much eggnog.
Yeah.
On the holiday. But getting up to speed, LeBron doesn't move around in a half-court set covering rotations and Luka is in shape, right? That was the big deal, that Luka got in shape. But, that doesn't necessarily matter over the course of the season because you have to be in shape because you're going to get hurt throughout the season. No one is playing fully healthy by the time you get to the end. And so that's going to diminish. And Austin's been in and out of with injuries. They just haven't been healthy most of the year. They've been playing, I would argue they're better with two of their three guys than they are with all three on the floor because that defensive chasm, and I don't know that Rui makes up defensively. Ayton is a good center, but a good center usually gets exposed on the perimeter, so he can only help. He might help. He'll make sure Gobert doesn't destroy them in the playoffs, but he's not going to stop Dylan Harper and all those guys on the Spurs from driving down their throat. So they're a flawed team, and JJ's job is to still, he can't make the trades. That's up to Rob Pelinka and of course the other teams that he would negotiate with to make a deal to improve the roster. And I don't know that they can fix that this year, but they're a fun team to watch. I have them as a B-plus tier team in the West, which is fun and entertaining, but not necessarily championship caliber.
Yeah, and you said it well, because the West is so loaded. What does B-plus get you? Maybe a 5, a 6 seed? So we'll find out where the Lakers are as we move into the new year. I'm Brian Weber in for Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen Show on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. We are focusing on the NBA with Eric Pincus, senior basketball writer for Bleacher Report. Eric, I'll be transparent. Maybe you lost your voice because you stayed up late. I went to bed before overtime because I mail it in when it comes to my responsibilities. No, I had to get some sleep. I'm sorry I did, because it was a wildly entertaining game between Denver and Minnesota, and Joker making history with 56 points in the triple-double. First time we've ever seen 55-plus points, 15 rebounds, 15 assists. With Denver's additions in the offseason, understanding they're dealing with injuries like Cam Johnson right now, do you think they are built to take down OKC this year?
I feel like it's more Denver subtractions over the offseason than additions. It's been rough.
Well, they had to make transactions. How about the roster composition?
I like Michael Porter Jr. On this team, and he's been great in Brooklyn, and I think he fit. And Cam Johnson has kind of struggled to fill that same role, and now he's hurt, and I think he's hurt for a period of time. But like Aaron Gordon is so important to this team, and he's out. So. And Christian Brown as well. So, like, they're not anywhere close to full steam. That they can do this and beat a team that is a bad matchup. Like, they have struggled over the last, 5 years. Most of the Jokic era has been a challenge against the Timberwolves with, Rudy Gobert and whatnot. They've just been a tougher matchup than most teams. And then Anthony Edwards was just incredible, getting them to overtime. And just he's such an incredible scorer. But man, Jokic, it just doesn't seem to matter. Like, you can put guys who are still learning, who are two-way players or rookies or guys who haven't hit yet in the league in terms of making it big or showing that they're regular rotation players, and he'll carry them on his back. And like, there's okay, well, a star player, you say, okay, let's make him the scorer and shut down everybody else, or let's do the opposite, right? Well, in the case of Jokic, he's going to get you that 56 points. He's going to score enough points to carry you and then get 15 assists and, of course, 16 rebounds. So, and then hit big threes. He's an incredible player. He's going to go down as, one of the all-time greats. Unfortunately, the team hasn't been able to support him enough with a championship roster. There's been injuries and just it hasn't quite been enough. But this is a guy who I would like to see on his resume, so we can call him an all-time great, to have 2, 3, 4, 5 championships, or at least 3. Getting to that 3, which is where you start looking at the all-time greats. But man, he is absolutely incredible.
Transcendent, undeniably. And remember, as we think about the path to the title last year by the Thunder, they got extended to a Game 7 by the Nuggets. Eric, always a pleasure. I appreciate the comprehensive analysis. And get some rest, my man. You got fired up in the middle of that conversation. You're going to pace yourself. We're only in December.
Well, you wanted a little bit of a warmer take, so I had to give you something.
I'm not sitting here like a WWE writer scripting this conversation, but I know you're passionate about the sport, and like a diesel, it just took you an answer or two to warm up.
Well, yeah, you dig into the hoops, I'm great. It's just looking at, football, it just doesn't stir the passion.
All right, I'll own that. I'll be like Larry King. My bad. Thank you, Eric, and I will chat with you in the new year.
All right,
Eric
happy
Pincus,
holidays.
the one man in the country. We should do a doc on him. I know the folks in Bristol are listening, and I will share this. This is not proprietary. The one man in the United States who doesn't watch the NFL. Now, I get it. He's a national NBA writer for Bleacher Report. He has done television work for NBA TV. Still, the NFL is such a behemoth. How can you miss football? Now, yesterday, in fairness, and I'm not being a shill because I'm working on ESPN Radio, and coming up in an hour, I might get as emotional as Eric did. I will share with you my summer in Bristol, Connecticut, as a production assistant working on Baseball Tonight. Back in the day, should I say the year? I think I did. Summer after my junior year of college, the catalyst, the inspiration for me being a broadcaster. So if you can tolerate my approach, that's the reason. If you find this challenging, I get it. You can blame a great summer at ESPN. But yesterday, you had to find the NFL. It was semi-interesting, and Eric hit on the massive media deal the NBA got. in part because of the participation of the streamer. But yesterday, the NBA was much more accessible. Now, you're going to say, okay, Boomer, I'm not that old.
Even though this is an HD or 4K receiver, this TV is not SD. This TV is not HD. This is SD.
All of them, but let's say the Knick game I was watching first, available both on my local ABC affiliate, Channel 7 here in Southern California, and ESPN. Very straightforward to find. To get to the football game, I had to hit 3 buttons, I had to wait for the thing to load, and then it kept defaulting, and I'll say it Netflix, I'm never going to work there.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love.
Could just be a story, but on the other hand, for hundreds of years, people have cited the prehistoric beast that
YouTube.
inhabits the deeps of the loch.
Well, maybe we could take in a little monster watching after the Highland Games.
That's all.
George couldn't wait.